Hello guys, what's going on? It's me, What If Anime Affinity, back on another video. So today we're doing something that I haven't seen or heard of in any of the Percy Jackson shit. This is What If Percy, I don't know how to explain it, was a fusion of three demigods. Let's say he's a demigod of three gods, he's the grandson of Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. Percy is not the son of Poseidon anymore. His father's the son of Poseidon. His father's, let's just say, the Emperor, no. Let's just say, yeah. I'm not gonna explain this. I don't want to get demonetized. Anyway, demigod that has Hades as a father. He's not relevant. The demigod that has Poseidon as a father, he's not relevant either. The demigod that has Zeus as a father is Sally, his mother. So yeah. He's the demigod of war gods, basically. Super strong. Basically, Percy, when he's born, his mother dies, giving birth. She was on the run from monsters and she was really weak. Percy, got raised by the gods, actually. Because the only one thing that all three of the eldest gods could agree on all the time was Percy. Because they were related to him, like they were all related. And Percy, when he's young, he just calls him Grandpa, and then when he gets older, he calls him Gramps. All of them. Anyway, he gets trained by the gods. Just so you know, Percy has a lightning form, kind of like Izuku Midoriya is when he uses his quirk. Yeah, and he has lightning protruding out of him, basically. And it makes him go much faster. I'm talking about, flash speed. Yeah, he has all the perks of being a son of Poseidon, a son of Zeus, and a son of Hades. And just, kind of like Sun Jin Woo, Percy, instead of summoning the dead, he raises the dead and puts them in his shadow, basically. Alright. Basically, Percy gets trained by Ares and Athena at first. Then the goddess of victory, which is Nick, I think it is. I think it is. Whichever one. And he beats the goddess of victory, Nike, whatever you want to call it. Nike, whichever one you want to call it. I don't know how to say it. But gaining the title of God of Victory. Just, when a god is defeated by someone that they're related to, and they're a demigod, they take their title. Yeah. And just, Annabeth is gonna be, bit younger than Percy, by 3 days younger. And she is going to be a fusion demigod as well. She's going to be the grandson of, or granddaughter of Athena, sorry, and Ares. Basically, born twin. Ares is still gonna be the son of the daughter of Ares. And who else? Should I make it someone else? Nah. I'm gonna make it so fusion demigods are kind of really rare. and Percy will be claimed at camp, basically, just so the gods know. Just so everyone knows that the gods are going after him. Now, Dionysus, or Dionysus, Mr. D is what I prefer to call him, though, actually knows about Percy. Enough to know that if he went rogue, he could destroy the entire world. So yeah, let's get back into this. Now, I don't know if you know what comes with having the title of the God of Victory. And you shouldn't, because I made this up. But a bit of it is from Campione. It's just the basically, yeah, he gets all the abilities from Campione's God of Victory, and he can use them whenever he wants, and he doesn't have to change. And he doesn't have to know everything about or he doesn't have to know a lot about the whoever he's fighting, or god he's fighting, or whatever he's fighting, to use the golden sword, the sword of victory, sorry. And yeah. Anyway, when Percy's 12, he like thunderbolt arrives at camp, and he sees a minotaur attacking. You know her. Grover. And Annabeth as well. They're getting back from a mission. Just, for the first 12 years of Percy's life, he spent, Percy spent 4 years in total with each Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, but those were spread out in 3 weeks. 1 week Zeus would have him, but the next week Poseidon, and then Hades. And one time, and he actually had a pet hellhound, and it died, so he used the Arise ability, and yeah, has the hellhound in his shadow. He has 3 hellhounds, 2 minotaurs, and what's her name? Nick or Nike, because whenever you lose your title of god, you kind of die. Anyway, yeah, Percy, a thunderbolt happens, and sorry about my huffingness. Anyway, thunderbolt happens, and Percy arrives at camp, and just in the nick of time, because Annabeth and Grover were about to be killed. And then he goes like, oh, I guess Grandpa Hades is being naughty again. And then the Minotaur roared at Percy, and he goes like, how dare you? And he activates his lightning cloak thing, and like runs through. No, I'm joking. He doesn't run through the Minotaur. He starts rapidly appearing and disappearing in places, and punching the Minotaur like really, really hard, like let's say like Prime All Might, Detroit Smash is hard. No, United States of Hard. No, right now, yeah, Detroit Smash, yeah, hard. And then he uses Riptide, because yeah, he has it. It's his memento from his father. Just, you know, all of his parents are dead. Anyway, yeah, Percy is like being out of it. Sorry, he doesn't uncap Riptide. Sorry, he snaps his fingers and he says arise, and all of his minotaurs and hellhounds just come out to attack the yeah. And Mr. D comes out, and Mr. D and Percy were close, like they were like brothers, just, you know. And he says, Percy, you son of a bitch! And then hugs him. And everyone's going like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, bro, what the fuck? Like, he never shows any emotion except boredom. What the is he doing? Percy just puts his hands out, and then really nice and fancy bottle of wine appears. And he gives it to Mr. D, and he goes like, I negotiated with Zeus, you're allowed to have a bottle of wine once every 2 weeks. And he goes, thank you, you almighty God. And then Percy, Mr. D goes like, says, Percy, I'd like you to meet. Oh, sorry, no, he goes, Campus, I'd like you to meet Percy Jackson. He's like Annabeth, but much better. He's the demigod of grandson of Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. And they all go like, yo! And Annabeth is intrigued, and she knows from her grandparents that he would be a worthy opponent. And then Percy chimes in, not just that, don't forget, Mr. D, I'm also the god of victory. And they're like, yo, he stripped the goddess of victory of her title. Just so you know, he didn't actually use the goddess of victory when he used the shadows. And then he says arise, and the Minotaur arises, and he goes into a shadow. And everyone's going like, whoa, Yankee with no brim. No, I'm joking. They just go like, whoa. And Anyway, out of nowhere, Luke stabs Percy through the chest, and Percy just, like, shrugs that shit off like he was nothing. And then he pulls out his golden sword of victory. And then he says, let me tell you what this sword means. It means I'm destined to win this fight. And thousands of straight-bladed gold swords just come out of nowhere and pointed at Luke, and they would go like, he goes like, yo, what the fuck? And just, he has been trained under Hermes as well. But then Percy says, but I'll spare you, considering the fact that Hermes still thinks you can be good. And anyway, Percy's wounds heal, and he the next day he wakes up in, he's allowed to sleep in any cabin he wants, basically. He is even Hera's, to be honest. Like, Zeus permits it. Like, Zeus says, yo, Percy, you can sleep in any cabin you want. And he says, oh, and just, my cabin's the nicest. And he goes like, can I bring people in? And he goes like, I understand. You've got my genes. And Percy just gives a smile. Like a devilish smile. And he goes like, you know what it is? He goes like, it is what it is. And he goes like, yes, you can. Yes, you can bring people in there. Damn, I gotta drink something. This should be good enough. Give me a second, guys. I just gotta get this drink open. Yeah. Anyway, guys, back at it. Back. And yeah. Basically, Percy wakes up after he's sleeping in Zeus's cabin. And, basically, he's told the only person that could probably, stand a chance against him is all the Athena, Ares, and Annabeth's, combined. Sorry, Athena's cabin, and Ares' cabin, and Annabeth put together. And Percy and Annabeth know that each other are fusion demigods. And Percy knows that what's it called? Annabeth has an invisibility Yankee cap. But you want to know something? Percy has the ability to go invisible whenever he wants. So yeah. Anyway, Percy and sorry, Annabeth says, "I challenge you, Percy Jackson." And Percy accepts. And everybody thinks Annabeth will win because she clearly has an advantage, apparently. Basically, Percy pulls out Riptide and the golden sword of victory. And summons all of his shadows, including this time Nick or Nike, whatever you want to call it. And yeah. But yeah. Sorry, I forgot to say this, but when Annabeth challenged him, it wasn't just her that challenged him. Everyone in Athena and Ares and Apollo and what's the other one? Hermes decides to join in as well. So that's why he summoned his shadows. And Percy just goes all out. Makes water tornadoes go at the Apollo cabin. The Apollo cabin gets a few good shots with their bows at Percy, and 2 arrows go into him. And Percy just pulls those bitches out like it was nothing. Anyway, yeah. Percy pulls them out, destroys the entire Apollo cabin. His hellhounds, 2 of his hellhounds, go to Hermes. No, one of his hellhounds goes to Hermes' cabin. With God, with Nick. Then the Minotaurs and Hellhounds team up. They pair up, sorry. 1 Minotaur and 1 Hellhound goes to Ares' cabin. 1 Minotaur and 1 Hellhound go to Athena cabin. Yeah, whichever one I didn't say. And then Annabeth and Percy fight, and Percy just goes like, I'm going all out. And his hair slicks back and it turns white. And he goes into his full-fledged God of Victories form. Now, it's not like how Ares went into his immortal form in Book 1. No, nothing like that. This is him just using the full-fledged power of the God of Victory title. And then he says to Annabeth, you may be the granddaughter of Athena and Ares, the god of wisdom and battle strategy, and the god of war. But I am the god of victory. And then Percy slashes his sword down, and thousands upon thousands of golden straight blade swords just fly at Annabeth. Now she does dual wield actual swords. And she goes like, fight me like a man in sword combat. And Percy obliges her. Percy uses his strength upgrade from the God of Victory title thing. And Annabeth is really struggling in this. And then out of nowhere, Clarice just slashes Percy's back. Which really does nothing. And yeah, like the cut just heals instantly. And then he says, balance breaker. And then the boosted gear appears. I'm just gonna name this What If Percy Was Too OP. And he says, boost! And then, with that, a roar of power emerges. And Drake says, you've finally done it, partner. Chaotic balance breaker. Now picture like an... how do I say it? Picture Dracula with it. Picture Dracula's cape, all torn and old, and basically add it to the balance breaker. Make the balance breaker black with red gems and red eyes. And that's the chaotic balance breaker. Now the normal boost on a balance breaker is, I'm going to say 10 times. Well, chaotic balance breaker is, actually no, not 10 times for normal balance breaker, 5 times. And then chaotic balance breaker is, I'm going to say 30 times. Because there's only been 2 people to ever unlock it. That includes Percy, and the person who unlocked it before Percy was Percy's mother. Sorry, no, Percy's father on the Hades part of it, because that's how he gets it. And everyone's going like, yo, what the... And then a sword appears out of his arm. And he picks it up, puts Riptide back, switches the God of Victory sword to his non-dominant hand, and then he pulls out this or the sword all people may know as Excalibur. And he goes, my ever so faithful friend, it is nice seeing you again, Excalibur. And then a giant, bright slash of light comes down. And Annabeth goes like, nah, shit, this, I quit. No, but Annabeth actually starts to develop really big feelings for him in this fight. And Percy does as well. So time skip to when they're about, I don't know, like 16? No, I'm joking. Like, let's time skip to when they're about. Yeah, 15. Everything that happened in the books, like, Percy just, like, basically swats them away, basically. Swats them away because they're, like, nothing to the problems, basically. And here, Annabeth asks him to go out with him, and he goes, like, sure, why not? And, yeah, Percy and her get back to his cabin, the Zeus one, like the and you know, he makes his move, and don't worry, he uses protection, man. And Annabeth and him are in love forever after that. Oh, and just, you know, Percy is immortal. So is Annabeth. Because I'm gonna say in this universe, when you're a demigod, your lifespan is 3 times longer than a normal human's. But when you have 2, like when you're demigod, like, I'm sorry, that was for when you're a demigod of just 1 god. But over that, and you're immortal. Anyway, guys, it's been 33 minutes. See yous, bye-bye.